So I don't want to miss. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm very excited to introduce my friend Wendy Moecher to our time tonight. This is what we call the Sparkle Hot Seat. And so each week I am putting somebody on the hot seat with four questions because everybody has such a different story, and we all bring something to the table that is special and unique about us, making our company even better because of it. And so tonight, Wendy is going to be with us. Um, Wendy, are
Bye,
you able
guys.
to? There we go. Let's see.
Bye, Jack.
I'm gonna make sure I mute everybody who needs to be muted before we get started here. Okay. Is anybody else unmuted? I think we're good. Okay. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for being on.
Hi, Betsy. Thank you so
Great.
much for having
Of
me.
course. And you live in Jupiter, Florida. Beautiful, beautiful. You were sitting in the sunshine when we were talking yesterday. I was very jealous. So I have a couple of questions. I have four key questions for you, right? Are you ready?
Okay, sure.
Okay. I just love this. This is so much fun. So, what brought you to Touchstone Crystal?
Uh, so back in 2018, actually, it's my anniversary this month. There's 7 years that I started with Touchstone Crystal.
Yep.
Yes, 7 years. And I am a director of retail for a private country club, and I'm a buyer for golf. I don't golf, but I'm a golf buyer. And I go to a major golf show every year in Orlando. And one of the girls that was my right-hand person in my former job, I stay with her. And when I was at her house, I walked into, we call it my bedroom, and there was a beautiful bracelet laying on the counter. And I walked out holding the bracelet, which was our iconic white ice bracelet. And I was like, what is this? It was on my dresser. And she said, oh, you have to wear that. It doesn't fit me. It's too big. That was before we had smalls.
Right.
She said, you have to wear this. So I wore it to the show every day. And well, we were there for 3 days. I wore it every day and had more compliments. People stopped me constantly about the bracelet. So when I asked her more about it and found out that the company Touchstone was owned by Swarovski, I was like, oh, okay, I have to learn more about this because who doesn't love Swarovski? Who doesn't love crystal? So that's kind of how I got started. And I haven't looked back. My son was going away to school and he was sort of a 24/7 kid through high school. And he was sort of getting his wings and leaving. And I had a little bit of time on my hands and it was just too exciting to pass up.
Yep.
So I haven't looked back since.
And I remember the very first time that I got to talk to you on Zoom too. I remember it very well. So
Do you
really fun.
really?
Oh yeah, I do. And I've been down to visit you several times, which is really fun.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Second question. What have you learned about yourself in the process?
Oh gosh. There's a lot.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I would say that determination and persistence is huge in this business. Um, it doesn't happen overnight. I guess for some people it does. It didn't for me. It was a process of learning and growing. I guess we all continue to do that, but determination and persistence to keep moving forward, even when you've got the obstacles that get in the way. Consistency is key. It's You have to touch your business every day. And I'm one of those people who doesn't touch her business every day. So I have to make up for it when I do get back to it. But consistency is key.
Mm.
I struggled for a very long time, and Betsey helped me with this. And it was not taking things personally because I'm a very, like, if somebody texts me or calls me, I make a note and I get back to them as soon as possible. People don't get back to you. And I had to learn not to take that personally because I was always like, why won't they call me? Why don't they text back? All they have to do is text back. So I learned not to take some of that personally and to understand that when something like that happens, it's not necessarily a no to what you're asking them. It's not something you take personally. It's on them. It's their life and they're busy and who knows what they have going on. So until somebody says, stop calling me or stop texting me, then I just reach back around at a later date. So And then also that, like Betsy said, she wasn't a jewelry girl. I'm a jewelry girl, so this was a no-brainer because I've been in fashion and retail forever. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. But I had to realize too that just because Alyssa doesn't wear jewelry doesn't mean she doesn't appreciate a solid business and wouldn't appreciate working with a team of girls that are inspiring and encouraging and want to do something different or better or more with their life.
That is such a great point. And I'm so proud of you for all the things that you've learned. I mean, to me, that's the best part about being in a company like this, and especially this one, is that
Mm.
you get to take away things that also apply to the rest of your life as well, and down the road too. And I just think that's so valuable. All right. So why do you stick around? What keeps you here?
Well, the sparkle, of course. Um,
It's better and better.
yes, the sparkle, and you wonder how it gets better every time. And it truly does get better. And it's interesting because you might not look at a piece and think, oh my gosh, why would anybody buy that? And then that's going to be the piece that you sell six right off the bat. Makes no sense because everybody has a different preference. But I would say what keeps me around, well, all of it. The sparkle, the jewelry incentives, the financial incentive. Like Betsy said, what would you do with an extra $1,000, whether it's a water heater or a new Mac or new rims because you hit the curb with your car when you took the turn too close. Um, yeah, so for me, it's this.
That was very specific, Wendy.
I know, right? Yeah, it was pretty specific, and they cost about $1,000. So, I would say that the sisterhood, because you're going to go through trials of times where it's kind of dry and you think, what am I doing? What am I not doing? And then you have this group of women that are inspiring and encouraging, and somebody will have an idea, Debbie will say, oh, well, pick up the phone, just make a customer care call, or send a text message, find out how they're doing, or go try on some new jewelry, or go shopping and meet people in line. So everybody always has encouraging words, or we've got girls that are spreadsheet number people and they can say, okay, you only need to make 6 calls a day or 3 parties and this much money. And I'm like, okay, draw it out for me and then I'll just do whatever you tell me. So I would say the sisterhood, the travel, not necessarily the travel, of course, when you earn the trips, which I've earned a couple, and I'm working to earn for 2025 Aruba, which would be my first trip. But the girls, the sisterhood, I would say is the best. And it's girls that aren't even necessarily on your team. They would be in different communities, different states from where you are, and you become friends over the phone and over Zoom like we are here. I would say the sisterhood is what keeps me here.
I think that's true for all of us. You couldn't have said that any better. All right, one last quick question. Your hot seat is almost over.
Okay.
Okay, how do you fit this into your life? You are married to an amazing guy with his own business. You have a very busy work life,
Yeah.
a busy social life. You have two grown sons who keep you very busy as well. How do you fit it all in?
Well, I
Where do you
found out
plug
yesterday.
it?
I found out yesterday from my amazing leader, Betsey, that I can schedule my text messages and I can send them out at 5 o'clock in the morning when people are sleeping, and they'll get them at 9 o'clock in the morning instead of at 5.
Right, right.
Um, so nooks and crannies of your day, I have to be really persistent because I can go 6 hours without getting up from my desk or leaving the shop.
Right.
So I have to like set an alarm that says, okay, send out 3 text messages, just sit down, send them out. And now this will make it easier because I can send them out at 11 o'clock at night, or I can send them out at 5 o'clock in the morning and get it done that way. Scheduling out, they call it just like your calendar blocking at the beginning of the month to go through and see which days or nights you have available that you can fit it in. And now we have this amazing Sparkle Express party that
Mhm.
once you get it set up, you can fit that in pretty much anywhere. Even if you're in the car on a trip, you can just set it up and go. It's just fitting it into nooks and crannies and talking to people in line at the grocery store, the dry cleaner, and
So
talk.
well said. And I think that's how most of us operate. You know, not everybody has the luxury of a couple of hours to sit down every day and really focus on this, right? Most
Yeah.
people in our company are working a full-time job or are raising a family full-time and really have their hands full. So I think you've made really great points about how this is something that can be manipulated into your schedule. But you do it because you have goals, right, and aspirations, and that's why you're willing to do all that. Well, Wendy, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I really appreciate you being willing to sit on the hot seat with us. Great job. Loved it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Oh.